Hello, my name is Cheryl and today we're going to be doing some mixed media art. I'm also going to be teaching you how to blend your colors when you're busy painting. So what you're going to need is some acrylic paints, just slightly watered down. You will need a green, two different colors of green, a leaf green and a darker green, a deep yellow, a white, a brown and some gold. And you'll also need some Elmer's glue or some Mod Podge. You'll also need some red paper, either some cardstock or just some ordinary printed paper, as well as a few paintbrushes, some water and a sponge. Alright, so let's get started. What we're going to do is we're going to start with a canvas, it doesn't matter which size it is, it depends entirely on what sort of canvas you have at home. And we're going to start with our white paints. So please notice that when I use the white paint, I'm doing 1/3 of the canvas with white paint. And I'm not doing this with the paint, I'm taking it from one point to the other and I'm taking it across the page. And the reason for that is we would like nice smooth lines. We don't want anything that has got paint lines. So if you could do that, that'll be great. If you need a little bit of practice, go ahead and do that. Okay, so once you've done the white paints, do not put your paintbrush into the water. Take up your yellow and do the same with your yellow. You're going to be doing 3/4 of the yellow and you're going to be doing it straight across your your canvas. And now we can start blending. So blend it up in shades across your page like that, diagonally across. Okay, and then just keep going with your paint. You can make this a little bit darker. And don't forget to take it from one point to the next. And then you can take a sponge and just dip your sponge in a little bit of water, make sure it's dry, and just pat the edges to make sure that it blends nicely. Okay, once you're happy with that, keep going with your yellow. And as I said, take it from one side to the other. Okay, once we're happy with that, notice that we've done our yellow darker in the base than at the top. The yellow is much lighter at the top. Okay, so now we can take our brown paint, and don't worry about dipping it, cleaning your brush. Just dip it into your brown, and you're going to do exactly the same with the brown. And then feather it up as well. Okay, and now you can rinse your brush and dry it nicely so that you don't have too much water on your paintbrush. And take the rest of your brown paint and finish off your picture. So now you can see what we've done here is we have a light sky in white. We have the yellow as a background. And we have got brown as the floor or sand. Feather it up again. And you can use your sponge just to feather it nicely again. Okay, now we're going to get a little bit of green, and I'm getting the leaf green. And again, we're going to dry our paintbrush, clean it and dry our paintbrush. And then we're going to take a little bit of green on the edge of the brush And we're just going to feather a little bit of green here and there, indicating grass. And you can feather it into the brown. And that's it. That's all you need. You don't need to go any further than that. Okay, so now we're going to take, after we've cleaned our brush, we're going to take a hairdryer and we're going to dry it, and then we're going to come back. So don't be in a rush, just get a hairdryer, dry it, and we'll come back and see you in a couple of minutes. Okay, so welcome back. Nice and dry. Your canvas is perfectly dry. So now what you want to do is get yourself, as I said, some cardstock and cut yourself a couple of pieces in an oval shape. And if you need to know what an oval shape is, it's like an egg. It's not totally round. And also cut yourself a few pieces that look like that as well, because we're going to be using that as well. Alternatively, if you don't have any cardstock, you can always use some tissue paper. I have some tissue paper as well here that you could use and do the same, cut it in a oval shape. Okay, so let's do that. We're going to do 3 little poppies, and I'll show you how to do that. You're going to get yourself your glue. It can be either Elmer's glue or it can be your Mod Podge, and we're going to take our first leaf of our poppy. We're going to put down some glue on the back of this little poppy, the one leaf, and we're going to put it at an angle. I'm going to put this one down here, and then we put some Mod Podge or glue over this. Okay. We take our next piece, we do exactly the same thing, put some glue on the back, and then we place it just over the one little leaf at an angle. Okay, and do the same with the Mod Podge. Now you notice it's starting to take a shape of a poppy, abstract shape. Alternatively, you could always use some dried leaves from the garden if you prefer doing that, but this is just a demonstration of how mixed media can come in, where you can use both acrylic paint as well as paper, stamps, stickers, whatever you would like to make your picture. Okay. And there's our poppy. Just move this up a little bit. Okay, and then we move on to our next poppy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a smaller oblong, because we're making our poppy look as though it's in the background, and I'm going to do the same over there. Okay, so you've noticed that I've done this one and a second one over there, and what I'm going to do is just use these little pieces as an indication of poppy leaves dropping to the ground. And you can just place them in different angles. Cut it in half, glue it, drop it onto your canvas, put some Mod Podge over, and do the same along the edges. Okay, so I'm only going to do the 2 little poppies, and I'm doing one tiny little poppy there that's just budding. So make sure that you put your brush back into the water, do not let it get dry. Now we're going to take a small little brush with a pointed edge like that, and we're going to get hold of some yellow again, and we're just going to lightly brush some yellow into the center of this poppy, just to give it the idea that there is a center to the poppy. And we can take our sponge again and just dab off the extra paint. Do the same over here on your second poppy, and dab off the extra paint All right, and then once you're happy with that, put your paintbrush in the water, clean it off, get yourself some black paint, and we're going to do tiny little dots in the center of that poppy. Can you see that it's looking like a flower now? Okay, once we've done that, we can dab it off again with the paint, with the brush, with the sponge, to make sure that it looks natural. And now we're going to move on to our stems of our poppy. So let's get some darker green, and let's just do a brush mark from the center of the paint, from the center of the poppy down to the inside where you have done your grass. And then connect the poppies all together. Just keep on going with long, even strokes. Okay, and then we can brush stroke this again with our feathered brush so that it blends with the grass. Okay. Now, what we can do is we can always add a little sun there if you like, or a little bird that's flying in the sky. Anything to give it some dimension, 3-dimension. And that's about it. That's all you need to do. If you want to outline your poppy with a little bit of black, you can do that. That should work quite nicely as well if you want to do that. But other than that, that's all you need. That's your mixed media. And I hope you enjoyed this program. And have fun doing your mixed media art. Thank you. Bye-bye.